We'd finally made it. A place I've been dreaming of visiting for years. This was not a wild adventure or a hiking challenge, but a chance to slow down and explore this beautiful island. We had our car and the freedom to chase whatever caught our eye. This was only the first morning. Mornings like this are why I camp. The world is quiet, just me, alone with my thoughts and the beautiful backdrops. It gives me time to plan ahead. Making tea, therefore, is a small but important ritual for me. It gives me time to settle in and prepare myself for the day ahead. This trip wasn't a carefully curated itinerary. It wasn't even so much about the sights themselves. It was about being away, enjoying the moment, and taking in this iconic scenery. Although I've done many trips before, this one was different, and I wanted to capture it. Not just the views, but the thoughts and feelings too. So as I sat, I realised this wasn't just a cup of tea. It was the start of our adventure. We arrived late last night, just before sunset, after a long drive across the mainland. We pulled up by the side of the road and quickly set up camp on a small grassy patch next to the river. Despite being close to the road, it was surprisingly quiet. Just the occasional car passing by. Our plan was simple: spend the next 4 to 5 days exploring the Isle of Skye at our own pace. We weren't hiking across the island. Instead, we had our car and would be choosing to go wherever we felt. Having both camped plenty before, we figured we'd find good spots to pitch at the tent as we went. April meant it was still chilly and windy, but overall, the weather was kind to us. Even with the excitement of the days ahead, it felt good to just relax, soak in the scenery, and enjoy the calm before we got moving. That night, a full moon lit up the sky, casting a soft glow over our tent. We were the only ones in sight. We boiled water for tea and dinner, wrestling with the wind to keep the stove lit, but the warmth made it worth the effort. To wind down, we played a quiet game of chess before turning in. The next morning, I woke up early, took a moment to drink in the peaceful surroundings, and enjoyed my first cup of tea. Hello. I even gave talking to the camera a try, first for me. I didn't have the right mic set up for it though, so that's a lesson learnt for the future. Alone and quiet, I thought over our plans for the day. First stop, Portree. Then we'd head to see the Man of Storr. Once my friend was up, we had breakfast and packed up to hit the road. The Man of Storr is an iconic part of the Isle of Skye landscape. We were excited for this walk. We'd seen it online and in films, and it spoke to our sense of imagination. From the car park, the cliffs were already visible. To reach them, we had to follow a short but relatively steep path uphill. At first, the trail wound its way upwards, revealing more of the cliff face with each turn. Looking back offered views of lochs and distant mountains. As we gained height, the iconic rocks drew closer. We'd both seen a lot of photos and videos of this place. It always looked alien, and in person, it lived up to that. If anything, the scale was even more impressive. The closer we got, the more our expectations built. Eventually, we reached the steepest part of the route. A long set of stairs leading up to our destination. This would be the final ascent to reach the place we came to see. We regularly paused to take in the dramatic landscape. These steps felt like an appropriately dramatic final path to reach such a magical location. And eventually, we arrived. But this was not the end of the path, so we continued on. We followed a trail along the slope, leading towards a rocky outcrop.
Yeah, you're horrible.
At this point, we were back out in the open. And took in one more view of the Man of Storr.
Smile, Hayden.
More steep steps took us upwards, as the wind began to pick up even more.
Well,
And after a couple of hours of walking, we were almost there. Finally, we had reached the top of the outcrop. The landscape was stunning, and we took time to take in the views. From here, it all seemed otherworldly and almost mystical, but the weather was quickly changing. And as the winds picked up, we knew we had to leave. So we began our hurried descent, trying to escape the weather as best as we could. The way down led us back to the rock formations. Though this time we didn't stop to take in the views. The alien-like landscape was just as stunning, and provided shelter from the strong wind. Walking back through here, it was difficult not to feel inspired. We felt transported and were glad to have finally seen it. We had ticked off the Man of Storr, and now was just a short walk back the same way we came to our car.